Last Guardian, being a PS4 exclusive, looks good, whimsical, and full of adventure and excitement between a boy and his monstrous bird dragon dog thing named Trico. That's to say, if you're expecting a game of an action-adventure type with a boy fighting, against the forces of evil with his giant companion, well, you're going to be sorely disappointed. Now, that's not to say the game isn't actually bad. However, action-adventure, it is not. But if you're a fan of, Uncharted, Tomb Raider, of platformers and puzzle games, then The Last Guardian is going to be the game for you. Now, the game opens up with a mysterious youth simply called The Boy, waking up covered in strange tattoos in a large cavern, lost from his village, no idea how he got there. He also discovers he's not alone when he discovers that the giant bird dragon dog thing, Trico, who's been shackled and armored and stabbity by a few spears, is right there alongside of him. That's literally how the game opens up. The game doesn't exactly hold your hand or give you explicit instructions on how to play it, besides jiggle said thumbstick, or pick up item X and what you can do with those actions beyond that. It's up to you to swear out what the hell you're doing. I admit I was distracted by the gorgeous visual world where everything just fits. The chains jingle, the grass and weeds and clothes rustle on the wind. I mean, the clothes even have the right scratchy rustling noise you expect of clothes, and the pattering of footsteps or hands slapping on stone. Audio-wise, the game is on the mark, and the musical soundtrack fits exceedingly well with the atmosphere. Visually, the game is stunning. Now, some people will not enjoy the soft texturing or the cartoonish Edo-era style-like art of the main character that at times seems to clash with the pseudo-Western medieval castle, but it blends well across the board. Further, during the loading screens, the art continues to be stimulating, and you can even, have some fun. There's intricate little mini-games to help keep you occupied if you can sort out how to play them. The many years the game was in development was in many ways worth the wait with the atmosphere and the visual depth of the game. The controls themselves they're rather firm for the most part. Unless you're jumping, from a cliff to an open door right behind you, leading to your fucking death. Stupid fucking game! So the controls are actually nice and simple, with the odd clunkiness here and there that can lead to some frustration on occasion. Now, a big question, I know some people have is about the story. Okay, so, I enjoy a good tale that starts at the end and tells the beginning to reveal the end of the beginning. The reveal at the end is the beginning. It sounds complicated. It's really not. It's all one giant foreshadowing flashback. Starting with a mysterious disc that's been buried in the dirt for some unknown amount of time. Then cuts right to the boy, waking up in the inner chamber where him and Trico are sealed in. The story itself isn't presented in English, except, through subtitles. So that can be a major turnoff for many, 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 many people. I've spent a lot of years watching anime, I love my subtitles, I love my anime, it wasn't that big of an issue to me, except when I was trying to pay attention to what was being said, and there's crap happening on the screen, so I have to try to balance the two things going on there. But it is nice that all around is, the game is one giant flashback being told by the boy, who's now an older man at the end of the game, and has at some point parted ways with Trico. Now, I'm not going to, reveal too much of the game because I don't want to spoil it. I know there's spoilers out there. I'm at least trying to be somewhat decent for a game that's, 2 months old. Almost 2 months old. Now, with Trico, the character itself was designed from the get-go to be different based on the factors of the player. Literally on a player-by-player basis, supposedly, and how you play the game each time. So literally, one of the main characters changes every time based on you, the player, which can be frustrating as shit, because I love animals, I love animals, but retraining and essentially re-raising a giant bird, dog, dragon thing every single time can be very testing, and not in good ways. So keep that in mind when playing with your giant bird, dragon dog thing of electrical tail death. Spoiler. Because it's going to frustrate the shit out of you at some point. And mind you, that's going to be on you because it's you raising the giant bird dog. Now, the story does unfold in odd ways as you solve platformer puzzles and mini-art quests. But, the story does resolve itself as it goes on. But that brings me around back to the issue of the gameplay itself. The gameplay itself, was sold as to be heavily action-adventure, and after the massive burn of No Man's Sky, No Man's Sky, I should have been a bit more on the up and up on that. I do like platformers and puzzle games and, companion pet games. Hell, I still got a Tamagotchi somewhere that works. I love companion pet games on occasion. I occasionally still play Pokemon Go, but I was not expecting that triple combo when I picked up the game. So I admit, on my first playthrough, there was a lot of bitterness as I played it. On a repeat gameplay, with the knowledge of what the game actually was as I went into it, I enjoyed it far more. Because I knew what I was expecting gameplay-wise, what the game was about, and I wasn't going to be surprised with my pants down around my ankles. But I'm going to be blunt. The action-adventure portion of it really was bullshit. Yes, there is some action and adventure, but that's like saying Yoville and other Facebook games are actually social games, or that No Man's Sky wasn't an overhyped piece of shit. You just can't really argue. Had SIE and Sony actually marketed the game as like, a Tomb Raider or an Uncharted-like game with a mystical companion, I probably wouldn't have been actually annoyed as I was with that first playthrough. Now, I did talk about the controls, and they're firm. They were firm until they weren't. Fucking cliffs. All I'm going to say. And that's true. Oftentimes, the stupid little things would lead to, massive setbacks in the game, which is common to any platformer, type game. Bad angles, odd reaction times, you can't quite see something, so that little mess up can throw you back a lot. Saving and auto-saving can be another peril in and of itself at times, but actually it wasn't that bad. With Trico, when you issue, quote-unquote, commands to it for various actions, can be frustrating at first, but that was by design. As the game progresses, Trico better understands what you're commanding and what you want it to do. The bit of combat action in the game, while minimal, isn't very thrilling. If a bit jerky or frustrating if you're trying to sort out how you're supposed to defeat said enemies, because the game, while giving you quote-unquote tips on what to do, it does it in a vague and broad method that even the most blunted person would be left scratching their head at. Overall, The Last Guardian is actually a very good game. But you have to know what you're getting into when you're picking it up, otherwise you're going to end up in a situation like, no matter how great the depth of the story may or may not be, how gorgeous the scenery is, or how mesmerizing the audio is, you'll be left wanting if you don't know what you're getting into. Frankly, and that, mind you, this is all my opinion. I want you to go out, if you've got a PS4, it's a PS4 exclusive title, as I said before. Pick it up, play the game, make your own opinion. Now, if your opinions match up with mine, awesome, sweet, I love that. If they don't, that's even better. Because, like the game, everyone's got their own opinion. And it's up to you to decide if you actually agree with me or not. That said, I hope you actually do go out and pick up the game. You actually play it, you try it, give it a thought, give it a whirl, and give it a spin. And thinking and saying of things, giving it a spin, hit the like and the subscribe button if you enjoyed this video. And, we'll see you next time. Talk to you later.